Hello, Earthlings. It's time to reset your cultural dial. Coming your way next on your favorite device, from the Hoosier State to all the ships at sea, it's the Crawfordsville Peachcast. And now, here's your second or third favorite Dave from Indiana, Dave Peach. Warning, other people named Dave may also appear.
Thanks, CD. This is the Crawfordsville Peachcast. I'm Dave Peach.
I'm Dave Meyer. Dave, how's it going, sir?
Dave, it is going very, very well. I got to wear a suit to the NIT. I was so
Dave,
excited.
You look good.
Thank you.
You look good. You were not only wore a suit, Dave, I would say stylish, and let's say people had you in the same frame as Charles Barkley.
It was so much fun, and I loved it. I do have a little story about the suit that we will have on an upcoming mixed bag.
Ooh, Dave, I don't know. Is that a teaser, Dave?
That's what we call a teaser. You know, and a lot of the kids say, Dave, you should say early on that you're on that Crawfordsville Peachcast .podbean.com.
We should say that more often. .com.
Crawfordsville Peachcast.podbean.com, and we're also on the Fork Media app, which features the Crawfordsville radio stations. Like, share, and subscribe. Let me get through this, okay? This is like I got to get through this. Like, share, and subscribe. We are on iHeart, Apple, Spotify, Podbean, and sometimes on YouTube.
Always, Dave, always. We're all these places. We're everywhere you want to be.
I've actually got it written down in my new book. I'm going through books like crazy. This is book number 5. This is season number 5. Did we thank CD?
I don't know, Dave. This time, yes, you did. Of course,
did we give our names?
I think so. Yes, those two things are true.
You know, we grew up. I mean, you were about 4 years. You're 4 years younger, so you have kind of a maybe a different perspective on a few things. But for the most part, you're there with Saturday morning cartoons and
yes.
Did you catch on? Did you watch Cowboy Bob at all?
Oh my, Dave! I was a huge Cowboy Bob fan. I remember Cowboy Bob was probably one of the first celebrities I saw in person.
So Sammy Terry?
Sammy Terry, again, saw him in person, was a little more freaked out by that, Dave. I noticed that the gloves, he was wearing gloves, and they were painted, and they were just Playtex gloves, Dave. Just like Mom had at home, except his were painted on with like red vein bloods. But yes, Channel 4, Dave, right? Channel 4.
We love Channel 4. Now, we're going to go up the dial to Channel 13. For those in Indiana, Cowboy Bob hosted a cartoon show. Sammy Terry was our Friday night horror host, and we love them. We cherish those, along with Janie.
Janie was the midday. She did the lunch show, or she was morning. I guess she and Cowboy Bob seemed to kind of move through that programming slot, those slots, Dave.
And we've got the top 10 rumors about Janie. Here they are, folks. Number 10. No, I'm just kidding. That would be good. Because there were a few.
Wasn't Janie killed in Vietnam,
There
Dave?
were a few. No. But also on Sunday night at 11:30 after the news, there was a choice that you made if you were going to kind of stay up late on a Sunday night. And Channel 13 had a Sunday night movie.
I remember this.
And every once in a while, they would show the Last Picture show.
And it had to be late on a Sunday night.
11:30. Now, we had to pay $3.99 and tax to watch it.
Of course. Commerce being what it is.
I think we should...
I gotta say this, Dave.
We should get a contract or something. I mean, I don't mind paying for them, but, they ought to spiff us a little something every once in a while.
Just for the promotional consideration, Dave.
Central Indiana Rubber Products provides the power for you. Central Indiana Rubber Products, or CIR, keeps farm equipment and local manufacturing processes running with gaskets, belts, seals, and O-rings, among a variety of other products and services. Employee-owned and always customer-focused. Central Indiana Rubber Products. 989 West, 83 North, Crawfordsville, and at IndianaRubber.com. Central Indiana Rubber Products, or CIR, power for you. Now, the Last Picture Show, 1971. Movie number 85 for us. This was actually not an Untoasted movie in that, and you'll have to look this up. It was nominated for 8 Oscars, including Best Picture, and I don't know what was up for Best Picture in 1972, but Dave Meyer will look that up for us.
I will look it up, Dave, and I will say, first of all, it was nominated for a bunch of things, but I didn't, there's so many things that we don't care about. But yes, it was nominated for Best Picture, Best Director, Best Supporting Actor. So supporting actor was both Ben Johnson and Jeff Bridges, and Ben Johnson won, Dave.
Ben Johnson won, and Cloris Leachman won for Best Supporting Actress.
Cloris Leachman also won. Larry McMurtry and Peter Bogdanovich, the director, were nominated for Screenplay. It was also nominated for Best Cinematography. So this was in the year that it came out. This would have been the hottest movie that went through the Oscars.
In 1998, the Library of Congress selected The Last Picture Show for preservation in the U.S. National Film Registry for being culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it does capture, I think some of it's black and white, and some of it is just kind of the desolate, lonely nature of the film or the story itself.
It's kind of got a little Grapes of Wrath thing going on in there.
This is not a movie, you think of some movies, you think of Rain, just certain movies have a certain color and temperature and flavor. This is a desolate, dusty, lonely, kind of rural movie.
Kind of a ghost town on the way.
It is, with relatable characters. And probably at the time that this movie came out, a lot of the situations and dialogue, I guess, placing what would seem like a sleepy small town and creating a compelling story of sorts with these not so amazing characters, really. None of them are. But it rings true enough to be at least uncomfortable, if not, something you want to stick with the whole way.
Okay, it was shot in black and white.
Yeah,
the whole way.
Yeah.
And
apparently, Orson Welles, Dave, told him to do that.
It was shot in, let's see, what city? Archer City, Texas, yes.
Which was, the reason they did it there is because that's where Larry McMurtry grew up.
It is The Last Picture Show, directed, as you mentioned, by Peter Bogdanovich. He also edited the film himself, which is something that, it's kind of total, that is total Roethlisberger. No, it's total Fagin. It's total Fagin. It's total.
It is. It's a Fagin move, Dave.
My cat is eating
Maverick.
plants.
Folks, you're witnessing
plants. Stop eating
Maverick.
Plants.
It's probably an anxiety
He knocked down
response,
some
Dave.
flowers. It's tough here.
Did he evil eye you, Dave, or is he smiling?
I'm trying to just get him to relax. You got all this sunshiny territory over here. Just enjoy it. We were young in 1970, Dave. I was 9.
Wow. I was 5.
You were 5. I
was not aware of a lot, Dave.
Here we go. Sybil Shepherd was 20. She is J.C. Farrow.
Mm-hmm.
Timothy Bottoms, Sonny Crawford, was 19. Jeff Bridges, who was Dwayne Jackson and is also a veteran of the Untoasted series, being in True Grit. How about that?
Yes.
That was that like 50 years? 50 years apart?
Yes, Dave. I'm getting the backside of Maverick.
Okay. Down goes Fraser. Come on, Maverick.
Folks, this is you're seeing how the recording.
It's never really. I don't think we've ever had one of these actually on YouTube, but maybe that would be propel us to
possible.
do it. Yeah.
Yes.
The first one to see a cat. Let's see. Timothy Bottoms was 19. Jeff Bridges was 21. Randy Quaid was 20, playing Lester Marlowe. Cloris Leachman was 44.
Wow.
Playing Ruth Popper, whose husband was never home.
No.
He was never home. The coach should have taken a timeout and got home a couple of times.
The old ball coach, Dave, and they weren't successful.
Yeah. Ellen Burstyn.
Yes.
Lois Farrow was 38 at the time. Again, this is at the time that this movie was made.
Yes, JC's mom, Sybil Shepherd's mom in the movie.
Eileen Brennan played Genevieve, and she was she's a veteran of Untoasted because she was in FM.
Yes. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Played Mother.
She was Mother, right? The afternoon DJ.
And Ben Johnson, who I believe was in The Swarm, was 52. Yeah. He was Sam the Lion in this movie. The budget was 1.3, and David, tell us how much this movie made.
Oh gosh, I've
got it
somewhere.
I was just going to let you do it.
Oh, okay.
I can do it.
29 million, Dave. Is that correct?
You are correct. Budget 1.3, 29. That sounds like a good return. 1.3 million.
That's pretty good.
You made 29.1 million. And are we really in the Southwest again?
Yeah, we are. We're drawn there, Dave. What is it that brings us back? In this case, the Anarene Valley near Wichita Falls.
Extreme Prejudice, Tin Cup, True Grit.
Wow.
And I miss Big 12 country. Texas ain't in the SEC as far as I'm concerned. It'll always be in the Big 12. Texas, Oklahoma, Nebraska. Yeah. I mean, those are all. They should all be in the same conference, but that's just me. That's just me.
This could happen. We don't know. Yes. No, I feel like we're going to have to do Grapes of Wrath at some point.
You're coming up with a little bit of a tinniness in your talk.
I don't know
there.
what that's about, Dave. Is that better? Worse?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
So they're high school seniors in a dying town. The picture show has a lot of power.
Yeah.
I don't think it was set in 1970. It seemed like it was set like during the Korean War because that's
51.
where Dwayne went. Yeah, okay, 51.
I think it was 51, and the music, most of what you hear is Hank Williams.
Well, Dave, you do hear Phil Harris, Hank Snow, Eddie Arnold, Eddie Fisher, Pee Wee King, Tony Bennett, Lefty Frizzell, Frankie Lane, Johnny Ray, Johnny Stanley, K-Star, Hank Thompson.
A lot of Johnnies.
A lot of Hanks. Webb Pierce and Joe Stafford. Or I guess it's Joe Stafford. I don't know.
Wow. Well, that's okay. That's a much better list, Dave, than I had.
See, I do my homework.
You do, my friend.
1951, as you mentioned, that's when the movie was set. Picture show was everything, including the newsreel.
Ah, yes, you got that too. And you knew from at the end of the movie they're watching Red River, and he says, "Oh, well, I watched it here before about a year ago or whatever." So clearly they're not, the last picture show is not getting anything first run.
Oh, it's kind of like the dollar movie. We won't belabor this. But there was a little bit more in this movie than what we saw on Channel 13 in 1979 when they rolled it out.
This is true, Dave. And I think I recall...
I thought it was a little forward for a 1971 movie.
Oh, yeah. No, this was... I think they had to change a few things. I think the black and white helped because there's nudity. We should make that clear. There is some nudity. It's not a primary part of the movie, but it is in there in different places. I'll say this, Dave. This movie doesn't glamorize sex.
No.
By any means.
No. What's going on in this movie? Well, we have talked about love triangles. We got a lot of love triangles.
Oh, we do, don't we? Small town love triangle.
Well, let me tell you, here they've got like squares and octagons, and I mean, they even overlap as far as what is going on. I mean, we've got at the core, we've got JC, Sybil Shepherd, Sonny, yes. Timothy Bottoms.
Mm-hmm. And he's our protagonist.
And Dwayne, who is Jeff Bridges. I mean, that's kind of
yes.
the triangle. That's the primary.
Those
triangle.
Are our main three characters. Exactly.
But then you bring in Randy Quaid to that triangle.
Yeah,
you bring in Bobby Sheen.
Bobby, yes.
I don't have a good mental picture of Bobby Sheen. I assume he was in the movie, but maybe he was only mentioned.
Yes.
And then for those that watch the director's cut, Abilene enters the triangle. And that's where we're gonna end that one. Okay. Then you've got the triangle over here, Sonny, Coach Popper, and Ruth Popper.
Yes, Cloris Leachman, if you're playing along at home, is Ruth Popper.
Ruth Popper. Phyllis from the old Mary Tyler Moore show.
Yes. She was married to Lars.
Lars. Did we ever see Lars?
No, that was part of the allure of Lars.
Kind of like Carlton the doorman. We never saw
He was Carlton. Except we heard Carlton.
Yes, he was also the voice of Garfield.
Yes.
We could
Lorenzo Music.
We could go on.
Yes, we could.
You know, I will say that I'm watching this movie. I will say, because it's a podcast, you know, I won't. I'm not going to write it out.
Finger puppets, Dave, again? Okay.
I'm watching this movie. I go, man, that looks just like John Hillerman. The teacher, the teacher was looked like John Hillerman, and then I saw at the end of the movie that it was John Hillerman. It was,
people.
So
that baritone voice.
We can talk about the movie, but let's talk about the people in the movie, because all of these people went on to do great things as far as entertainment goes. I mean, even John Hillerman, for goodness sakes, a guy that was in a one-off scene as a teacher, kind of like, oh, I don't know about that, that kind of thing. I mean, he was on Magnum.
Right,
for years.
Yeah, years and years.
John Hillerman, I get him confused with the one guy that was John Adams in 1776. I get him confused. You know who he is. I think he was in that movie, or he was in that TV show with the kids. That one with the kids? And they were...
Do they go to the place? The kids
Boy Meets World. Boy Meets World. Or was that on CBS?
Yes. Okay.
Who is that guy?
Daniels. That guy's name's Daniels.
Yes.
But he's still alive, and he's like in his 90s, like way up there, Dave.
Give me Daniels' name. What's it guy? Blake Daniels?
I have no idea. I should look this up. But he was, I think, of The Graduate.
He was in The Graduate?
Who says, Benjamin, I want to say one word to you. Plastics.
Oh, that's a key. What is that guy's name? I think it begins with a B, and it's Daniels.
Okay, we're going to look this up.
You'll look this up.
Well, this cast, though, Jeff Bridges, Sybil Shepherd, Jeff Bridges, Academy Award winner, Ben Johnson and Cloris Leachman both won for this. Ellen Burstyn goes on to win later.
Was that Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore?
I believe so. I think Eileen Brennan won for, what was the Goldie Hawn Private Benjamin?
Huh. I did not know that.
Where's our fact checkers? But
and Randy Quaid went on to be Cousin Eddie.
He was Cousin Eddie, Dave.
Among other things.
And he will forever be Cousin Eddie. But and he looked, let's just say Randy Quaid, they took his features and then they gave him a haircut, and then they said, just keep your eyes wide. And that was the extent of how we saw his character, Dave.
He could definitely. I know he spent a little time doing the Andy Griffith show. You see him in a few episodes in the color version.
Occasionally, yes.
And I will say that he could have been the third cousin. It could have been Gomer, Goober, and
yes,
Gonzo or whatever.
Gonzo. He would have been a good Gonzo.
Greg or something. Yeah, he would have been. They could have easily fit him in there. I'm going to go crazy until you find out who that one guy is in Boy Meets World. Okay.
Hang on. I will do that.
I'll roll out a line while you do that. This is something that I have thought about a lot. Mom to Sybil, Lois to Sybil.
It is William Daniels, Dave.
Daniels. For some reason, I had a B in there, but it's William Daniels. Okay.
It is William. Now, I got to tell you, Dave, okay.
He is not in the last
his
picture
age?
show. I saw it. I think it's 98.
99, Dave. Just turned 99 last month. Okay. You were just a bit outside.
Maybe I mean, you're going to beat me up for getting it off. For getting it,
no, Dave.
Getting it wrong 1 year.
99, that's well within the realm of error, the margin.
It wouldn't work on Jeopardy, but it was Mom, it was Lois, it was received by Sybil Shepherd. Everything gets old if you do it often enough.
Oh, Dave. Of all the adults, we really didn't get to know much about Coach Popper, Dave. We really did. Barely saw him.
You're going back to Coach Popper?
There's something about Coach Popper. He doesn't get hurt, and we don't really ever worry about his feelings, do we?
We could do a sequel to this based on what Coach Popper was doing when his wife was throwing coffee cups.
There's an entire movie, Dave,
Coach Popper,
about what Coach Popper was doing.
What did Coach Popper do? What did the Fox say? What did Coach Popper say?
Dave, this may be, we may spin off a whole new podcast.
Coach Popper.
With the Coach Popper alternate timeline, Dave. People, no one has dared go there, but we're bringing it up, Dave.
Yeah,
I don't know. Okay, I won't
You won't belabor the Coach Popper thing?
I won't take you back hard. It made a Sybil Shepherd's character is an unhappy. Like I have some empathy for her, but not a lot, because you meet her mom and you kind of see, and then there are some things that are tied together within the story that help me. Like when we learn at the end that when Ben Johnson's character, Sam the Lion, is take the kids out fishing and he's telling them the story about the great love of his life. Later on, you find out that's Ellen Burstyn's character, right? Mm-hmm. And that helps. So those,
Dave being crazy about a woman like her is always the right thing to do.
And Dave,
you know what that line does? You know what that line does? You know what that line does for you, David? It wins you an Academy Award. That's what that line does for you.
Baby.
Okay.
He'd a mic drop, Dave.
Yeah.
He'd a mic drop. Well, I have I have a Ben Johnson story, and please check someone to make sure it's accurate. But I believe he was a real cowboy, a farmhand, who basically was hired on movie sets to help cowboys or actors look more like cowboys and help with, horses and things like that. He's on a John Ford picture. A team of horses with actors gets out of control and is basically going to take this group of people to a place where they're not going to come back from. And he's able to, on his own, stop this from happening. And it all happened in front of Ford. And Ford said to him, basically, come with me, you now have a contract.
Wow, by saving
him. Right there, he was a day player, and just, basically a hired hand in a department. And the director basically said, now you're working for me. And so the rest of his career, basically, he acted in John Ford movies and a few others. But if you go back and look at interviews, he was who he was. I mean, he was a real life experience kind of guy with a great voice.
Yes. Can you confirm he was in The Swarm?
I love this part of it.
I've got another line, another Academy Award-winning line from Sam the Lion, Ben Johnson. It was after my wife had lost her mind, and my boys was dead.
Dave, I was going to write that down. Dave.
It was after my wife had lost her mind, and my boys was dead.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay, let's see here. Yes, Dave, the 1978 film,
The Swarm. Thank you.
Does feature, among many, of course,
as
we know,
we
Grant,
did it.
Michael Caine, Catherine Ross, Richard Whitmark, Richard Chamberlain, Olivia de Havilland, and Ben Johnson.
There was a lot, and we talk about the cast. The future was bright for them, but in the movie, the future was not bright for anyone.
No. And that's where this movie is also, it's not, and again, it's nothing against the movie in this regard. It's not paced at a quick level. You just kind of, you're in there and you are through it, and it takes its time unfolding, which is part of you get empathy for some of these people, and then you realize, this is not good.
No, they're not very morally sound.
They live, the quiet desperation thing is alive and kicking.
All I can think about when they're playing those songs is, and we've talked about this show, there was a trucker show from New Orleans, WWL, and they would play those songs from midnight to 6. And it was always my go-to at night with the radio by the bed. You know, I was tuned into WWL or KMOX, but there's something about those Hank Williams songs and the artists that we mentioned that on the AM. Yeah.
And it's funny because like most of the Hank Williams are the really lonesome, I could cry. And then when they're going to Mexico, or is they're playing Jambalaya. Like, because it's almost like they're at that point they think they're going to have a great time and all that, and so that was like the most happy-go-lucky tune in the entire movie.
And for me, I'll go to the well one more time. I don't like those songs in pristine pressings. I want a little static. I want a little static on those. I want to hear it like that old AM sound. That's, to me, brings out the character, brings out the emotion in those songs.
You're right. We knew it as Q burn, but there's the hiss or whatever you want to call it. That immediately places us that know it in another time, in another place. And if you're just hearing the music clean, it doesn't have any of that dimensional character.
What was that one song they did? They did it at the beginning and they did it at the end with Hank Williams Jr. Man, I can't come up. Can't do a Google search. A song played at the end of the Last Picture Show. Let's see if we can find that in
song played at the beginning and end of the Last Picture Show movie.
And I'll sing a little bit of it for you once we find out what it is, because
why don't you love me like you used to do?
Yes. Why don't that's awesome.
Says, Dave, the AI people, here's what they say, Dave. They say this 1950 country classic sets the film's nostalgic and melancholy tone, appearing on the radio in Sonny's truck and during the final scenes of the movie. So it would have been in the truck and the Mercury, right? Because he gives them the Mercury. That's kind of some of the parting.
Okay, as we talked about Dust Bowls, Grapes of Wrath, Windy, Ghost Town, you got the diner, you got the sweeper. Brother, not a brother. He wasn't a brother, right? Or was he a brother of Sonny, or was he just a friend of Sonny's?
You know what? That's a good question. I think they were brothers.
The sweeper guy, no love for Dwayne from the Farrow family.
Right.
Lester is the host.
No, actually, Billy is not given a last name, so I do not believe they were brothers.
Lester with the swimming party.
Dave, Lester creeped me out. Okay,
you're talking about Randy Quaid.
No. The guy with the dark hair who was the greeter out of the
I
pool.
gotcha. Well,
Lester
Marlowe introduced JC to the swimming party, but yes, the host of the swimming party was a little bit on the kind of
creepy side.
That side, yeah. Lois and Abilene. And who played Abilene? That's not Clu Gulliger, is it?
Yes,
okay.
That's Clu.
I gotcha. I kind of thought that. Billy's bloody nose. And that got him kicked out of Sam the Lion's establishments. Randy Quaid and JC.
Yeah.
They go off to Mexico, and it's a farewell to Sam the Lion. Senior picnic. I'm just going to roll these down. Graduation day, and then the question I have is: Coach Popper ever home? Is he ever home?
Does he
ever come home?
What is it? So he coaches maybe he's the Tony Hinkle of
everything. Yeah. But he's never home.
He's never home.
Never home.
And he doesn't seem to mind that.
JC hitches up with Bobby Sheen.
Yeah, Bobby.
There's a kidnapping involving the preacher's boy.
Now, that was a weird little interstitial that didn't move the plot along.
No,
Dave.
I didn't understand that. Is that what do you call that? A ragamuffin, or what do you call that?
I don't know what you'd call that. I was like, what just happened, and what was that related to?
Red herring. Was that?
Yeah,
MacGuffin.
I think maybe, and that was it.
Yeah.
It was to maybe just distract you for a moment, but I don't know.
There is a confrontation between Dwayne and Sonny that resulted in an eye injury.
Yeah, and then let's just say at a certain point in the healing of Sonny's eye, he puts what looks like some kind of serrated object over
metallic,
and it has like a little lining, but and I feel bad for him for having to wear this, and then at one point in the movie, JC really lays at him, for having this on, Dave.
Yeah, he it was hard to live down. We had an elopement. You say elopement?
It was an abandoned elopement or an aborted elopement.
They call it an annulment, I believe.
That's what happened, kids. Yeah. They didn't get it done.
How long do you have to get an annulment?
It feels like, okay, Dave, again, fact checkers, consult your local listings, but I feel like 72 hours.
72.
Yeah, so that's what we're going to say.
So not 38 years. I'm asking for a friend.
No. You got to get the Pope involved, Dave, if you're over 30 years, I think.
There's zero chance Annette will ever hear this.
There's a different, you have to hire somebody from out of state to review those.
And then Sonny's friend Lois picks him up.
Yes.
And gives him a ride back home.
Which, yes, and that was an interesting little way to kind of get us to that final scene, which left us basically with Sonny and back with Ruth, more just broken and trying to. He really didn't want to hurt her.
And absolutely no worry that the coach was coming home anytime soon.
That was Dave. I was like, I was thinking about that at that moment. Like, dude, like it's midday, and I know you mentioned this in earlier scenes, but you should probably still be concerned.
And the whole town knew about it.
Oh, Dave. I love
that.
The
whole town knew about Ruth Hopper and Sonny. And
Dave,
apparently they didn't tell the coach.
Didn't know. The coach wasn't in on those. He was out on the outside of that.
I don't know. I don't know my Anarine, like the back of my hand, but maybe he didn't really bother.
Maybe he didn't mind. It wasn't a priority for him.
Well, I can say that this movie, The Last Picture Show, I can see why it was preserved by the Library of Congress. it's got it really, do you think it was more for culturally, historically, or aesthetically significance?
I think it captures culturally in a certain part of the country in a certain time. You mentioned kind of that the post, Grapes of Wrath, Steinbeck, Oklahoma, Texas. There's that's where, and I think the black and white helped. So, that may have been to save money or to whatever, but it helps. But it's a film in that it makes you think. It's not always going to be comfortable to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Or even like, do I understand why I'm watching this? And I continue to watch it,
For some reason, and this is why I picked this movie, when it was on at 11:30 on Sunday night on WTHR, it just got me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just got me. And I sat there and watched it. I will say that Sybil Shepherd at age 20 would put Farrah Fawcett, Sydney Sweeney, whoever you want to say, put him. There's a certain look about her. There's a certain way she looked that was a 10.1.
Sure. No, you hit on the most, probably the most closest reference.
And Annette would say, of course, if Annette's listening, she goes, "Well, then just go get her." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go get Sybil Shepherd." Yeah,
that's
gonna happen.
Sybil Shepherd and she had been a model, and the camera loved her, and she did a good job acting in this because you could not be ambivalent about her character. So she did a good job of bringing you in.
And of course, you look at her and Bruce Willis in Moonlighting, and then she had a CBS sitcom.
Yes,
she had a great career. Jeff Bridges moved on to, just so many movies, and of course, Cloris Leachman, known even in her latter years for Dancing with the Stars. Dancing with the
Stars. I think she appeared in a later episode of The Office in this scene with Jack Black. Yeah.
All these people. But what are your final thoughts on The Last Picture Show?
I'd say if you're someone who likes film and wants to look at what was a critically acclaimed early 1970s film, this is a good one. If you're somebody who wants to watch a movie and just kind of give me some mind candy to take me there and let me off at the end, this is going to be long and slow and boring for you.
You talked about the intertwining of the characters. Eventually, we hear that the waitress could have, her husband could have made the big strike,
right,
to gain them some wealth, like Lois and what was her husband's name? I forget what his name was. Did he have a name?
I just remember he was just mean and he was a character that didn't really have any dimension.
Mr. Farrow could have been
Gene Farrow.
Thank you. And everything was intertwined. Everything connected at the end. If you paid attention, everything connected at the end, and it kind of made sense.
And that, as someone who grew up in a small town in Indiana, not in Texas, I could relate to the interconnectedness that was known, not always understood, but a part of the framework of the town.
Next up, David, we're talking about shifting gears. Are you ready?
Oh.
Gabe Kaplan's first movie, Fast Break.
Oh, Dave. How many times are we going to get the chance? And, because if somebody said, okay, you can do a Gabe Kaplan movie or you can do a basketball movie, you'd say, wait a minute, we can do both, people. We can do both.
And Billy Preston and Sarita with You I'm Born Again is in the soundtrack.
It's in the soundtrack, and we love that song, Dave, and we love Billy Preston. This is going to be, I'm excited because it's been a long time. And this is more of a sporadic memory of seeing this late night. And then I think maybe I might have rented it on a VHS.
I saw it in the theater. Oh, we got to do one more thing. We got to look up Best Picture 1972, the nominees. I want to know what won that year.
Best Picture 1972 nominees.
Yeah, I was going to say, is Last Picture Show on there?
Here we go, Dave. Here we go.
Give them to us.
The Last Picture Show is indeed on the list. Now, much smaller list these days than these days. So I'll start out with this, Dave.
Yes.
It was not the winner. Not the winner.
I know it.
I'm going to give you the runners up and see if you can guess the winner.
So The Godfather won in 73.
You are correct.
Okay. So this
first.
I'm just going to guess. I'm just going to try to guess. 72.
Okay.
71 movie. Give it to me. Give it to me. It's not French Connection.
Dave Peach.
Did I get it?
What about that, folks? Live.
Yes.
Dave Peach pulled that.
I know it wasn't Chinatown. Chinatown was a little later, I believe. I think Chinatown might have been between the two Godfathers. But okay, so who else was up for it? The French Connection.
Clockwork Orange.
A movie I have not seen.
Okay, it doesn't
I'm not
matter,
kidding.
Dave.
I've never seen it. I've heard good things about it. So okay.
Okay, so
we got
French
The Last
Connection
Picture
won.
Show, The French Connection, and you got Clockwork Orange. Okay.
Clockwork Orange, Nicholas and Alexandra. So art movie.
Yeah.
Fiddler on the Roof.
Zero Mostel.
Yes. So
very
how
good.
about that?
I like it. So a deserving movie, even though I've never seen it.
No. It's like Gandhi, Dave. Yeah, what's the Steve Martin line? I love Gandhi. I just haven't seen it.
Yeah, I never saw Gandhi, but I loved it. That'll do it, Dave. We want to tell people that we are on CrawfordsvillePeachcast.podbean.com. We're on the Fork Media app featuring your Crawfordsville radio stations and the Crawfordsville Peachcast. Like, share, and subscribe. We're on Apple, Spotify, iHeart, YouTube, and Podbean. Like you haven't heard this before. Until next time, America, I'm Dave Peach.
I'm Dave Meyer.
Thanks for listening to the Crawfordsville Peachcast.
Thank you for listening to the Crawfordsville Peachcast. If you enjoyed it, follow the podcast and ring the bell so that way you'll always be up to date with the newest episodes. We'll see you next time.